welcome back to Druidcast with Disillusion Druid. This week on Catching Up with the Conspiracy Meta, we've got a lot to cover, so let's dive in. This week in Swamptown, first Marjorie Taylor Greene said she finally wanted to bring the Epstein list to light in Congress, only for her to turn around a few days later and decide she wants to work with two of Epstein's alleged pals, Elon and former presidential candidate, Big Pharma con man, Vivek Ramaswamy. They offered her an important position, allegedly at the Department of Government Efficiency, the DOGE. If it gets her out of Congress, maybe it's a step in the right direction. So much Trump news this week, let's try to speedrun it. Trump's not going to issue blanket pardons for January 6th. The president-elect also talked to the president of Mexico about border stuff, and she flip-flopped 3 times already this week, so we'll see. Trump wants to remove the trans from the military, citing mental illness. Was it all money laundering, like everything else? Considering MKUltra's ties to military bases, surgeries, experimental drug programs, and physiological, psychological human experiments, seems like a cover-up in the appearance of a political move that's mostly popular with the general masses. All charges against Trump were dropped. Real shocker. What I want to know is how much money taxpayers have spent on Trump in court since 2016. Doge, can you get on that? Putin slobbering all over Trump while France and the UK threaten action against Russia, and Germany preps bomb shelters. Russia threatens the world with Satan II missiles, but considering Putin's also flattering Trump, we'll see. Coming to the Trump finish line, what's that, 8 mentions? Time released its latest layered image. As you can see here, Trump appears to be speaking into a microphone where the power source is mysterious light, Lucifer, light, Vox Lux, the voice of Lucifer, perhaps? There's an old folktale where the president is supposedly elected to become a vessel for the presiding principality or spirit ruling over the United States. And that's why their hair turns white at the end of their 4 to 8 years. Is he a vessel for Lucifer? Note the M with his fingers. Did y'all ever notice these flag pins are always at a funny angle? Off of Trump for now. Switzerland has decided to double down on the blasphemy card. They're the current Templar capital of the world. Shouldn't come as a surprise. In the oldest church in Lucerne, called Peter's Chapel, you can now go there and confess your sins to an AI Jesus. What is this nonsense? Now, instead of priests gathering your dirty secrets and extorting you for penance so that way you might be forgiven, you can just directly upload your sins to the cloud so big tech in Europe can take a peek at what you do behind closed doors. I'm sure our friends in Davos and Geneva have nothing to do with this. Someone who might actually enjoy the concept of an AI Jesus, Big Archaeology's latest spokesperson, Flint Dibble, published an open letter to Joe Rogan on YouTube this week, claiming Joe is a nepotistic bully who refuses to follow the science. Dibble claimed conspiracy theorists and those who question mainstream archaeology are anti-intellectual, something he claims is an epidemic specific to Americans. Do you agree? Are we anti-intellectual over here? Or are there just some glaringly unsolved mysteries that archaeology and big science overall refuse to acknowledge, look at, or can't solve? If you believe copper tools can carve rose granite, you're probably the same kind of person who wore 2 masks for safety. A man bought an art installment of a banana duct taped to a wall for $6.2 million this week. Further iterating, all art is money laundering. The intrinsic value supposedly was tied to an AI-created NFT based on the banana, which brings us to the meat of the matter this week. Most of you have probably seen this meme by now, some form or another. What most of you probably didn't realize is this is a digital currency. NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, can be represented these days by nearly any abstract object, concept, work of art, a meme, as long as the object serving as an NFT has some kind of value. In this case, it's shareability. The more this meme is shared across the internet, the higher its valuation. Starting on November 20th, when the president of El Salvador shared the meme, either knowingly or unknowingly, the value of the NFT attached to the meme quickly grew to 9 digits, in dollars presumably, but I really don't know how crypto works. With the help of the account Official Nathan Drake, he and I managed to track down the first accounts who shared the meme after the El Salvadorian president and trace them to accounts known for working with folks like Michael Bloomberg, acting as a fire meme account to push Bloomberg and close propaganda to a whole new generation. Obviously, it's working. I've watched one by one as the largest accounts on here share this meme, and then along come the bandwagoners wanting to share it next, get those likes, those views. And then, eventually, the general population, completely unaware of the true reason of this meme's popularity. The NFT's valuation has only continued to rise to Sam Bankman-Fried money laundering levels. This is how our economy works, right? We base value in the stock market based on perceived value. The only difference with crypto is how quickly these NFTs can rise and drop in value. It's literally the perfect venue for an untraceable money laundering scheme. And considering we know that MKUltra studied money laundering, and the CIA started the meme wars. Look up Vault 9 on WikiLeaks. I don't think it's a stretch to imply who might actually be behind Chill Guy's rise to fame. The question that remains is, did the feds ever have any presence in El Salvador? Goes to show, you shouldn't repost what's trending without looking into it first. You might have thought we were done with Trump, but we've got more. The president-elect nominated Scott Bessent to the Secretary of Treasury position. I'm not sure about those who think the swamp is draining, but here in reality, it's clear to see that the current 2025 lineup is chock full of swamp things. A quick review of Bessent's resume. His number one fan is George Soros. After going to Skull and Bones Yale, where the library currently bears Bessent's name, Bessent got his start earning ungodly money working for Soros Fund Management. After breaking off from Soros to start his own investment group, Key Square Group, interesting name, with the wonderful seed gift of $2 billion and some change from George Soros, Bessent fashioned himself as someone who invests in macro investments in geopolitics and economics. You should read that as manipulates markets and destabilizes nations. He's a Council on Foreign Relations member. He's given political donations to Al Gore, Hillary, Obama, finally the big guy, showing he doesn't choose sides. Bessent stinks of the upper echelons of MKUltra contractors, Jeffrey Epstein and friends, and the rest of the globalist scum. He's also on the board for Yale and the board of trustees at Rockefeller University. So call it a hunch, but I think America can do better than putting this guy in the Treasury vaults. Turns out Louis Pasteur was a Freemason, so the proof is in the pasteurized pudding, as they say. Calling raw milk a health hazard was always a cow pie from its inception. Raw milk, drink it. I'm sure that just broke the algorithm for me. And now for the big news of the week. While we all slaughtered some turkeys for our yearly ritual, one of our overlords allegedly burned in a house fire in another sort of ritual. Will Rothschild, never heard of this one, was allegedly found dead after news of his home in Laurel Canyon. Is that Charlie Manson's neighborhood? Burned for 33 minutes at 4:40 p.m. local time on the 333rd day of the year, with 33 days left in the year and 366 days after Kissinger gave up the ghost. I'm starting to think something strange is going on. The conspiracy breakdowns are still developing, but a favorite tip I've received is Will was merely changing his identity and starting over with a new name and face, faux resurrection style. It all reminds me of those books. What was it? A series of unfortunate events, the Lemony Snicket books. You remember there was a secret society, like an Illuminati secret society in those books called the Volunteer Fire Department, VFD, right? And what would they do? They would set fire. The volunteer fire department would set the fires to fake the deaths of their members, or they would do it to eliminate the members who had betrayed them. Hell, if I know what's going on with Will Rothschild, but I'm sure the timing of all of this, the circumstances of all of this, just a coincidence. To end the week, looks like Project Bluebeam is once again rising to the consciousness of the masses, with several reported UFOs, or UAPs, whatever you want to call them, in Manchester, D.C., Duke University in North Carolina, Denver, probably a lot more. Looks like Starlink is online and operational. With Musk in the White House now, Project Bluebeam is a go. Look up optogenetics when you get a chance. It's a technology where you really can't trust your eyes anymore. That's all we got. If you notice, Trump was mentioned first 9 times and then 2 more times for a total of 11. You win my respect. Easter eggs are how they manage to communicate secrets hidden in plain sight, so don't forget it. If you enjoy the videos, be sure to share them with others. Like, follow, share, subscribe. Drop a comment. Tell me all your opinions or about how wrong I am. I'm thankful to all of you for all the positive feedback from last week's video. It doesn't look like we're going anywhere anytime soon then. Until next week, keep seeking truthers. I promise you can find the answers you're looking for if you look hard enough.